The field was narrowed down to 4 at the end of Friday's play in the LA Women's Tennis Championships presented by Herbalife. The Sony Ericsson WTA Tour has moved rapidly on from Stanford and Istanbul to this $700,000 event in Los Angeles. And those still in with a shout of picking up the biggest share of prize money include Sorana Cirstea. The Romanian set the tone in her match with Agnieszka Radwanska by securing a break in Game 4 to open up an early lead. Radwanska did, however, find the strength to even things up before falling once more in the tiebreak. Cirstea asserting herself slightly more forcefully for a one-set lead. Roles were dramatically reversed just a few minutes later, though. The 20-year-old Pole hit form after the turnaround, breaking twice to comfortably get herself back into the match. And the world number 13 confirmed that super second set comeback, sealing it by 6-1. Cue a decider in which the first 8 games were to go with serve, before Radwanska, who has yet to pick up a tour title this season, forced the issue to make it 5-4. However, the 2007 winner of the Tour Newcomer of the Year award was to end up losing here. Her opponent Cirstea defied a niggling ankle injury to break immediately back, before challenging a line call on match point. Hawkeye was to prove that she was right to do so. That meant that the 19-year-old from Romania was able to avenge last week's straight sets defeat to Radwanska in Stanford. 7-6, 1-6, 7-5, and it's Cirstea's first win over the Pole since 2006.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sorana Cirstea.
Jung Jae versus Samantha Stossur was the next contest down to centre court. The prize for the winner, a last 4 clash against Cirstea. Now, despite having sent Anna Ivanovic packing in the previous round, in-form Australian Stossur struggled to get to grips with a Chinese opponent in the opener, slipping 4-1 behind after conceding 2 early breaks. She managed to get her act together as the set approached its climax. However, Jung just about held her nerve to see it out, 6-4. So the world, number 23, Jung, a set-up, but that only served to bring out the aggressive play we saw last week in Stanford from Stossur, who for the second week running was looking to reach the semi-finals. Some hard hitting here, simply too hot to handle for Jung, who was quickly found her lead cancelled out with a 6-3 second set scoreline in favour of her Australian opponent. All that set up an intriguing third set battle between the 13th and 14th seeds in front of an enthusiastic Los Angeles crowd. Despite hitting the spot with 93% of her first serves, Jung failed to convert those percentages into points and quickly found herself a breakdown. She fought on bravely to the end, but Stossur served out for the match 6-4 to seal her place in the business end of the tournament yet again. Moving on, and after seeing one family member knocked out of the tournament earlier in the day, the Radwanskas will have been hoping that 18-year-old Ursula would become the latest player to take advantage of Maria Sharapova's recent poor form. The Russian 3-times Grand Slam winner has been unable to hit previous heights since returning from an injury layoff and has yet to make a tournament final this season. Sharapova started well here, though, quickly racing to a 3-1 lead thanks to Radwanska's inability to pick up points of her second serve. 3-1 was turned into 6-4 as she held her own service games, and that one break was enough for a one-set lead. This, the first meeting between the two players. Now Radwanska broke straight up in set 2, and she would continue to do so regularly. Sharapova, though, also managed to find the break of serve, and a topsy-turvy half an hour or so wasn't taken control of by the Russian until the final 4 games. She won those consecutively and finished off the match 6-4, 7-5, Sharapova will now fancy her chances of making her first final of the season when she turns up for semi-final action on Saturday. As always, be sure to join us then. Maria Sharapova through to the last four of the Los Angeles Open.